The Lower Manhattan map is now playable in Marvel Rivals Season 7, and Kingpin has taken over modern New York, imprisoned all the superheroes, and he is fighting back against the 2099 timeline. This map is a convergence, and it's designed in a very interesting way, especially at the beginning of the map. What I've noticed is you have a double bulb. Essentially, you have two orbs stacked on top of each other that lead into a choke, which leads into two other orbs, and it creates for very strange fights, an abnormally long distance between the spawn room and the capture point. You have no real cover down the middle, which makes the stall poke game incredibly tough to actually push onto the capture. What I recommend with this map is flanking. And that doesn't mean going full dive. I actually haven't gotten great results on this map with full dive. I think it's really good to go with the shield tank. I've enjoyed using Strange most of all on this map. His portals are actually super valuable. And as opposed to most maps, you'll want to use them proactively rather than reactively after you die and go back to spawn. But those are just some strategy tidbits related to the map. I want to talk about some of the lore, some of the Easter eggs first, and then we'll get into some gameplay where I'll show you how to get more wins on this map, how to play it correctly, the advantages and disadvantages of certain heroes. Now, a super cool aspect of this map is that you can find the Kingpin, and he is fully animated. The thing is, you can only find him when you're defending, and you actually have to get pushed back from the first 2 points and be in the final spawn room to see him. But he's a big guy. If they actually make him a hero, he would definitely be a vanguard.
Rose had your chance to save this city, but I'm the only one fit to lead the people through this crisis.
Wanted to let him speak for himself right there. But it is very cool. This isn't the first time they've animated a villain here. There's also some very interesting lore in the items he has. Obviously, you got the red hood right there, or just the hood. This is a character very deeply affiliated with New York. You also have Kingpin's staff on the side with a purple finger. I'm not too familiar with the Dark Reign storyline, but people tell me this is from the Daredevil Dark Reign storyline. This mask right here, this is likely the Eternity Mask, the whole gimmick of which is to give the wielder power equal to the opponent that they're fighting. And notably, this was housed in the Sanctum Sanctorum, the same place where the object that's in the back of the truck, the whole convoy point of this map, that's also where that was located. And while the mask has been possessed by a lot of obscure heroes over its time in the Marvel Rivals canon, the most recent notable hero is actually America Chavez, who was in the MCU Doctor Strange movie. And I got a feeling that after Doomsday happens, we're going to see a push for more of the Young Avengers into the Marvel Rivals universe. Marvel Rivals is all about the cosmic forces, the multiversal forces, and whenever they involve a multiversal force, it gives them multiple seasons worth of storyline content. There are some theories. One of the theories I think is really cool is Captain Universe, because he's a little known, not often utilized, like cosmic force within the Marvel Universe, very similar to the power cosmic, and in fact, Captain Universe has possessed the Silver Surfer at one point, because Captain Universe isn't a person, it's just a power that imbues certain heroes during the most troubling times. And what's interesting about that is that it's imbued Spider-Man, it's imbued Mr. Fantastic, quite a few heroes involved in this whole ESU aesthetic they have, but also it's imbued Miles Morales before. And considering we also have an Easter egg on the map that shows Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, I think these are ways that they could easily connect the other Spider-Verses. And on the side, we have this little crystal. Now, this crystal, I'm not too sure about. The best theory I've heard is actually the Norn Stones, and these connect to Loki and all the way back to the Celestials. And it's important to note that the art director of Marvel Rivals, Danny Koo, he does a lot of polls on his X, and one of these recent polls was asking people who their favorite Eternals was. So it's safe to say that they're looking to add the Eternals into the game in some fashion, and it connects very cleanly with the Hood, because a very recent storyline involving the Hood is him using the stone to become the Kingpin of New York. That storyline directly involves Black Cat as well, who will be the next hero in Marvel Rivals Season 7. Tell me your thoughts on that in the comments, and let's get into some of the gameplay on this map, because there are quite a few hidden Easter eggs in the moment, and this map is pretty interesting, the way you play it out. The heroes that are meta on this map are not quite the heroes you're going to be playing on most of the other maps. It really comes down to the shape of this map, and I'm going to go more into that with the gameplay. I'm going to tell you, this map has a lot of lore, and I actually think it's, you can see from the intro screens immediately, Kingpin arresting superheroes. I think it's actually hinting at what the next couple seasons leading up to the next Spider-Man movie are. So what's important to note about the movie is that, one, it's got Tombstone instead of Kingpin, but it has Keith David in it as a specific character that'll probably show up in this game as well. It's got John Blumenthal Punisher as well. There's just something weird with the Kingpin rights where Kingpin can't be in the movies. Marvel messed up how they sold the rights to the characters all the way back in the 90s, and they've been dealing with it ever since. That Sadie Sink is in the movie, and I have a suspicion she's gonna play an actual superhero. I think it'd be kind of crazy if she played Black Cat, but it's also very interesting that Black Cat is in this game on the first season that's like called The Road to Avengers. So I don't know. We could see. I think she's definitely gonna be a superhero though. I forget who Keith David is in the movie, but that's also gonna have influence. There's a poster I gotta find on here that it literally has Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man 2099 on it. And like we were talking about how there's freaking multi-year gaps between the Across the Spider-Verse movies, right? Now kind of sucks ass. But I think he's a character that'll show up with 2099. It's tough to actually go look for these freaking Easter eggs right now. But we're kind of rolling. Yeah. I think the three big ones on this map though, and this actually makes me remember who Keith David is playing. Because Keith David is playing off here to our left side. There's pictures of Norman Osborn and oh my god, I gotta get the frig out of here. Curtis Connors too. So there's Green Goblin and the Lizard on this map. Come on, give me. Yeah, we do gotta pull back on this. I'm gonna pull off that point right now. Come around the side. Here's Curtis Connors. Where is it? Miles Warren. Dr. Miles Warren. That's who Keith David's supposed to play. No, Curtis Connors the Lizard. But the point is, if you literally go to this room off to the left after we beat these fucking guys. Here, we're pushing them back right now. Getting them in the hole. I'm dead. Ah! Okay, I'm coming back. Here, come over to where I'm fighting right now. He's literally fighting into the room with the freaking lore that I want to talk about. That's hilarious. I'm actually talking over here. We have the three pictures. Miles Warren, Curtis Connor, Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, Lizard, and Jackal. I could not remember. There's too many, like, animal heroes now.
Oh, it's a
Alright, back. Hold up. Let me get this. Ooh. Kind of a waste on my part. Yeah, this... Pretty much the lore of this map is that we're going from Empire State University up to Fisk Tower. And Fisk's Tower is also a prison where he's holding a lot of the superheroes. I actually want to grab this box, but I am almost dead. Jesus Christ, man. Give me my bubbles!
God damn it, this thing is pushing me off.
Oh. Okay, I have to switch off the rogue. It worked for that first swarm, but Emma Frost, a little bit denser. Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys. I just needed this range right here, bro. It was really that. Rogue don't have the range. And this convoy, pretty large points. There's some pretty long distances, I mean to say.
No!
Ooh, nice. And you can actually see in the back of this truck, he's got... I forget the characters' names. But pretty much, what's happening with the city is that 2099 is invading the modern timeline, and Alchemax Corps is trying to take over everything. So Kingpin is actually kind of like he's kind of a hero here in his own fashion. He's rounding up the superheroes because he thinks they're responsible for the multiverses collapsing, or the timelines collapsing. And the whole thing of this gold thing is that he wants to get ultimate control of the timelines. But then Black Cat actually tricks him, and that's going to be the Black Cat update. And then there's more lore past that. I have no fucking clue. Ooh. Frost International. I'm sure some of these stores are probably Easter eggs too. I don't think it stops her ult, does it? Ooh, it pulls her towards me, dude. Oh, no. Okay, dude. Emma, perfect counter to Penny ult. I don't know why I never tried that before. Yes, now we're in the prison part. You can see all the prison stuff. Freaking barbed wire. He literally picked the wrong corner. If he'd have put his spider nest right there on that side, right here on the left, that would have been way better. This can fix. Ooh. Oh, let me see here. Can I do anything? Nope, that was a bit of an overextension. I'm back. I'm heading back. Thankfully, they're getting punished by the wolf, so I didn't really get punished there. You see how we're literally going over water now, so we're like on a little prison island. That's pretty cool.
Fucking touch me. Touch me. God damn it.
Yeah, we might get stuffed here for a sec. The Daily Globe. Huh. Not the Daily Bugle, huh? Daily Globe. Competing newspaper.
Weird.
No, there's got to be some lore there. Marvel Rivals is very good about the little hidden tidbits of lore. So what happens is that Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, now the mayor of New York, he tasks Black Cat with stealing an object from the extra-dimensional depths of Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. This is the Tablet of Life and Time, is what it is. The Gilded Saint is who the hand is that he's giving it to. In all the images you've seen of Kingpin giving something to a giant hand, that hand is the Gilded Saint. Patron saint of the Thieves Guild.
Like Iron Fist?
Well, here's the thing, because the Thieves Guild adds these aspects to it, because Gambit has been a part of the Thieves Guild, and Thieves Guild has... This is an actual magical entity, and this is talking pretty much why Wilson hired Black Cat, is because Black Cat is an actual thief, so he was hoping that by proxy of her stealing the item, he could actually use the magic of the item, but she stole the item from him in turn. So she's in fact stolen the item from the Gilded Saint himself. So all this stuff is just setting up like an actual magical villain. While we're talking about 2099 and regular New York coming together, in fact, the Gilded Saint is pissed off because he was given a forgery. Which, there's 3 more gallery cards to come. And they said they're focusing on New York, and they got this whole ESU thing going, and I think they're probably going to introduce a couple more spider people. And now we can see a bit more about this room, too. We got Spider-Punk, but right here, this is actually what I was, if you look at the TV, you can see Spider-Man 2099 on there. Hopefully we can see it past, yeah, right there. The yellow hair on the right. So in reality, this is actually his secret hideout now that I'm looking at it. I think he just put his laundry on Doc Ock's stuff.
Yeah.
Implying that he kicked the crap out of Doc Ock. Now Doc Ock is down an arm. Hold up.
You guys gotta
Oh.
remember, in the comic books, Dr. Octopus swapped consciousness, swapped body.
I am strengthened for
That is a storyline too, the conscious swap. There's a lot of modern storylines that they draw from that I haven't actually read myself, so I get educated every day on the last like 15 years of Marvel every time I play this game.
Get in there. Get in there.
We got this one. Oh, check off to this side, by the way. They have a chameleon. It's like a little experiment room, and you can see all the different color chameleons. And this is what I actually mean by the Sinister Six. So, like, on this side, you have the chameleon. If you go over onto that side up there, you have Norman Osborn, you have the Jackal, you have the Lizard. And that with Dr. Octopus, it's like, you know, they're all animals. Sinister Six is usually animals. Just further supporting my theory that the next Spider-Man trilogy is kind of leading up to the Sinister Six. Because they wanted to do it with Andrew Garfield's, remember?
Yeah, they did.
That was like the whole thing, but they never got to the end. I kind of wish they did, though, because one thing it did that none of the other Spider-Mans have done, like, not even the cartoons, is they talked about his parents. They're like, oh, his parents did experiments in the jungle, and then that fucking, what was that Spider-Woman movie? Tried to bite on that. What was it even called? I forget. With Dakota Johnson and fucking Sydney Sweeney, and like the cast was great. Alright, it was pretty hot. It was a hot cast. But all the spider stuff was a dream sequence. Nothing actually happened in that movie.
an unseen assist.
Oh, whoa!
Will not fail.
We gotta back up from here a sec. Ooh, yeah, we lost 3. Come back, come back. It's actually a chance for me to show you another thing I just noticed. Van Dien. This is Van Dien's store. Van Dien is Wasp.
An unseen assist.
It's cool. I'm actually sitting on a portal and an ult at this point. So let's see what I can do. Ooh, hold up. I want your bubbles. I'm going over for your bubbles.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Ah, the bubbles actually saved my life. Even though they were trying to they knew what I was going for. Bubbles kept me alive there. Ah. He missed, but I need to be a little quicker on that. I could have actually flown up to block him. I'm trying to speed it up too. I want to speed it up so we can get it into the last point. Boom, you see this scan here? You see their numbers?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
That's part of the lore is the drone is going over people scanning for if they're superheroes. But it's really showing us their ult charge. So that Squirrel Girl's cooking an ult. Be ready for that. She's at 76.
I got it.
Yeah.
Now I see them.
Oof.
Fuck you.
Oh shit. That's a good spot. You did a lot of damage on him.
Sure.
Low key with the Glartrox, you actually do want to call it back. Because then like you can hit in them with your own guns. What do we got cooking on the sides? We got this part of the map is pretty straightforward. There's not I see this. He gains an overshield there.
Venom is probably their best guy, but he's not doing very good.
He's fighting 2 alone. Like he's over here solo boxing me, but I thankfully had the healing backup, so who's got ult? JJ Runs? Who is JJ Runs right now? Their Cloak and Dagger might hit an ult soon if we don't drive it in here.
I just use my ult to kill them all in that little corner.
I'm probably gonna die here. Yep, that's good. I got Portal. We'll make Portal play.
Alright, let's get in there.
Pentagram of Corella.
Squirrel! I don't know where my fucking squirrels went.
Yeah, I think they just went off the map, or they went so deep they just fucking disappeared. There's that cloak dagger roll. Be careful, guys. You can be on top and it's not actually gonna damage you here. Yeah, your squirrels just disappeared. Hang out, wait, we're waiting for Venom to come back, because even if he's just a big hunk of shit absorbing damage, he needs to be in time with us. If that's all he's gonna do is absorb damage, he needs to be doing it in sequence with us.
I got squirrels again.
Okay, she got me. I lost 50% on that. Kill the white fox. Oof, oof, oof. Nice, nice. That was such a big ult, bro. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count them. Get the Venom off as quick as we can.
I'm trying.
Touch it, touch it, touch it. Got one down. Got two down. There's my ult. There's my ult. Touch it, touch it, touch it. Nice, dude. Oh my god. You know, I had to upgrade my Strange. I know that Strange, like, melee weaving works, but I wasn't doing it actively enough. Once I started doing that at the end,